Hey, welcome back to Good Day Live, guys. It is Tax Talk Tuesday, and today we're making sure that you can distinguish between a hobby and a business, which is probably a really important thing, whether we're talking about taxes or not. But when it comes to taxes, we know the IRS likes to make us jump through all kinds of different hoops. So to help us out with that, I've got our favorite lady, Lori Carpenter from Statler & Company Tax Services. Lori, thank you so much for being here.
It's always good.
Yes. Now, tell me, why does it matter if we are distinguishing between a hobby and a business?
The IRS looks at them very differently. As a business, you can report your income, subtract your expenses, and then pay tax on whatever's left. Sometimes that might result in a loss, and so that can be very helpful to you. If it is a hobby, you cannot take those expenses and you cannot take a loss on it, but you do have to report the income.
Okay. Now, if it's determined to be a hobby, do I have to still report that to the IRS?
You do. So what you're going to report, though, is the income that you received from it.
Okay, and this kind of played into, we were talking a little bit before the show, guys, like a kid shoveling snow. And can you tell everyone out there about that scenario, because you really surprised me?
I said if his intention was to make some money, then it's probably a business. And if it's a business, then he can write off his shovel, so he's going to subtract that from his income. If he pays his mom to drive him to another neighborhood and he gives her, hey mom, here's some $10, then he can write off that $10. So in that instance, it very likely could be a business.
Okay, and it seems like even if you're just getting your business started, they can still, with your intention to make money, it can still be considered a business, and you have to report that money. I was just telling Lori, I have a little cousin who is trying to become a professional gamer, and his mom bought him this new computer to make it go faster and things like that. So the IRS actually gives us a couple tests that you have to kind of run through to make sure, well, which helps you determine if it's a hobby or a business. So we're going to run through a few of those. Okay. So tell me about the first test.
So there are several, and I probably won't give them to you in the same order that I sent them earlier, but I will say the biggest one is your intention to make a profit? So if you are year after year after year, you report a little bit of income and a whole lot of expenses, that is probably not your intention to have a business.
Okay. Well, this is really important while we're talking about this, because if someone does intend to make that a business, they can start kind of keeping track and keeping record of the money that they are spending to kind of grow in this hobby that will soon become a business, right?
Well, and that is exactly another one of the tests, which is your record keeping like that of a business? Are you really keeping track well of your expenses and your income? If you're just like, you know, I'm gonna kind of figure it up later and not worried about it too much, maybe you're not really running it like a business.
Okay. And another one of the tests is actually something, are you an expert in the field? But what is an expert really? You know?
Right. Well, in other words, do you have some natural ability, or have you studied a particular field? So for somebody who wanted to do taxes, obviously there's a little bit of expertise and learning you need to do that. If you are going to breed animals, you need to have some expertise in how to do that. You can't just go, well, I think today I'm gonna breed my dog, sell the puppies, and that may be more of a hobby if you just jump into it for a day and, you know, in 2 months you're done with that.
Right. And, you know, in 2021, that's why I asked that question. Everybody's an expert. Everybody's a lifestyle expert, an entertainment expert. You know, you have to be clear, guys. Right. And then another one of those tests gets into personal pleasure, recreation. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, obviously, we were talking earlier about somebody who says, I'm going to enter fishing contests because I'm really good, and I'm going to make this a career and a business out of winning fishing contests. So obviously, I don't think somebody's going to get into that if they don't have some personal pleasure out of doing the fishing. So that can tie in, but really the IRS might just add that as icing on the top if they think it's a hobby or a business. But they certainly are going to look at that as a part of their determination of hobby or business.
Okay, okay. And one of the final ones that we'll just touch on for a little bit is the profit, the something with 3 to 5 years. Explain that for me.
So if you have a loss, in other words, your expenses are more than your income, and that happens over and over and over, are you trying to have a profit? Probably not. All right. So the IRS says, look, we're going to assume if you're profitable 3 out of every 5 years, then your intention is to make a profit. So they just say, we're going to just cut it right there if that's what you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lori, this was so beneficial. I swear, every time Lori comes in, we can just ramble on and on about taxes and discovering new things that you guys should be applying for that maybe I didn't know, I'm leaving you in the hands of the expert. And that's all the more reason why people should go to Stadler & Company Tax Services.
Exactly right.
Yes. Can you tell everyone where they can go for more information?
Absolutely. They can check out our website at stadlertax.com. They can check out our Facebook, Stadler Tax and Accounting, or they can also check their tax knowledge on playtaxgame.com.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here, Lori.
It's always a pleasure.
Guys, that was your Tax Talk Tuesday. Guys, stay right there because we will be right back with more Good Day Lab.